Good morning, 2A. So today for reading, we are going to continue talking about text features, and you're going to read a Scholastic News and complete the read and think questions for your Scholastic News. So last week or the week before, we talked a little bit about text features. And remember, nonfiction text features are different things that are in nonfiction books or articles especially. And sometimes they're also in books, but we see them a lot more in nonfiction or real life stories and articles. And we talked a little bit about some of them last week. We're going to review some of those and we're going to learn some new ones. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see all of my vocab cards here. And we're going to start, ooh, we're way zoomed in. We are going to start with heading. And remember, heading is another word for the title. So the heading of an article, this one is all about fish. It tells us what the article or book is going to be about. So it's important to know a heading because you're about to know what you're going to read about. Then we have subheadings, which are words under the heading that tell us about the topic of one part. So this article is all about making cupcakes, but this subheading tells us that this next section is going to be about how to make the frosting for our cupcakes. So subheadings are important in case you want to find information somewhere in the article, but you don't want to read the whole article. So if you're learning about making cupcakes, maybe you already have the cupcakes made and you just want to learn how to make frosting, you would be able to find it with a subheading. We talked about captions a couple times, so I'm going to quickly just remind you that captions are information under a photo that tells us about the picture. One of our new text features this week are maps. So maps are drawings, or sometimes mostly drawings of places that the story tells us. So this is a map of the United States. You might also see maps of the world. And an author would use a map in a nonfiction article, maybe to tell us where the article is taking place. So maybe if it was happening in a country like China, they would show us China on a map with an arrow, or maybe they draw it or make it a different color. Sometimes they might also show us where people traveled. So maybe they're telling us a story about somebody who came from Brazil to the United States. So maybe they would draw how the person came from Brazil to the United States. Or maybe they just want to tell us where an animal is located. Many of you, as you work on your animal reports, are probably seeing some maps. So if I wanted to know where penguins were located, it might have this part of the map, the top part and the bottom part of the map, colored in to show me where a certain type of penguin is located. So maps are really important in nonfiction articles. We talked a little bit about bold print last time. So remember, bold print are words or phrases written in darker print or sometimes in color to emphasize importance. A lot of times our vocabulary words are in bold, so we know where to find them in an article. And then finally, this one I have to zoom in a little bit because I couldn't find a poster that matched the others, is pronunciation. So pronunciation often has parentheses, so these little like smiley faces around it, and it tells me how a word is said. It's used to help the reader pronounce words correctly. And usually the word is in color or bold print, and then the pronunciation is in parentheses. So this one is talking about Declaration of Independence. So if that was a really tricky word and you couldn't sound it out, they would have a pronunciation guide. So it would say Declaration of Independence. So you would be able to use the pronunciation guide to help you read harder words. So we sometimes see this on words, especially trickier words like vocabulary words or names of people and places sometimes have pronunciation. So that way we can make sure as readers, we're pronouncing it correctly. So these are all important things that you're going to be searching for today. So I'm going to have a new share, and I'm going to share with you our article that you're going to be reading in your Scholastic News today. So a reminder for Scholastic News, we're going to log in as a student. Let me give it a second to load because it always does that funny thing. SJP20 is your password. And you're going to read one of the articles today right on the home page. So this first article right here called Butterflies Are Back is our article for this week. So you're going to click on Butterflies Are Back. A reminder that you can watch the video, you should look at the vocabulary words, and you can play the game at the end if you would like. But I'm going to go right into my issue. And then I'm going to either read or listen to my issue called Butterflies Are Back. And there's another video right up here you can click on too. And I already see some of those text features that we just learned about in this article. So I want you to take a moment and look at this even without reading it and just look at some of the text features we already see. So now that you're going to either listen or read, and then after you're done listening and reading, you're going to complete our text features and read and think worksheet. So I'll share that. There it is. So the first page has our scavenger hunt. It looks very similar to the one you've done before, but this one I changed some questions. So do you see any maps in the article? So you can either circle yes or no. And if you circled yes, what is the map of? So tell me what the map is of. Do you see any captions in the article? Either circle yes or no. And if you circled yes, tell me how many captions you see. What is the heading of the article? What is one of the subheadings? And do you see any pronunciation? So circle yes or no. And if you circle yes, what word has a pronunciation next to it? So remember, pronunciation has parentheses or like little half circles around it, and it tells us how we pronounce a word. And a hint I gave you earlier is it's probably a vocabulary word. And then after you finish your text features, you'll do your read and think worksheet. So you're gonna read and answer, why do monarch butterflies have to migrate in the autumn? Where do the monarchs rest during the winter? What makes milkweed plants a good place for monarchs to lay eggs? And it says, hint, what happens when the eggs hatch? And it says, number 4, where do the adult butterflies spend their summers? So you're going to answer, you're going to complete the text features portion and then answer these read and think questions. If you have any questions about what we're covering today or what is, how to get into Scholastic News, send me an email or a Class Dojo message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope everyone has a terrific Tuesday. I hope to see many of you tonight at 6:30 for our weekly Zoom meetup, and I will hopefully see you soon. And if not, I will see you tomorrow with more videos.